What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another day in Car Mechanic Simulator 2021 with me, the Virtual Mechanic. Today's project is absolutely wild. I love the look of this thing when it's finished. Right now, it's not looking so shiny. This is the Volkswagen Caddy Mark 1, or this one here is the Cadwah, as we are calling it. This is my competition entry, and yes, this config and livery will be available to all of the channel members of the VM Garage Club. So if you sign up for £2.99 at the VM Garage Club in the link below, you will get access to the Discord where I will share this config and livery. That's £2.99 a month. Massively supports me, and you get this config and livery. This is the Cadwah. This is a supercharged Volkswagen Caddy, and if you don't get that reference to the name, which is a reference to my name on Discord, then fair. It is what it is. But this one has in it the V8 AJ133 Land Rover engine, which is a supercharged V8, the same one that is in the F-Type, I believe, just with the supercharger slapped on the top, just for good measure. 618 factory horsepower on this beast. We will be tuning it up. It will be considerably more than that, I can pretty much promise you. Did we get a good deal for it? No, we bought it for 24,626 and could sell it for 25,512, losing out on 114. But I can promise you this Caddy, as much as it already looks massively different to the standard Caddy just there, or it's not quite a standard Caddy, but you know what I mean. A little bit more wild at the front end there. It is meant to look that way. This thing is going to look absolutely fantastic by the end of today's video. So make sure you stick around to the end and see what this beautiful truck is going to look like. If we open up there, you can see that beautiful SVR engine. It is a V8. It is supercharged. And hopefully when we finish today, it will look fantastic. So that's the plan. Let's get on with it. Let's get this beast into the car wash. Let's get it all cleaned up. And let's get started. Well, there we go. She's all clean and she's had some stripping done. We've just got to pull that engine out of there. I'm very much looking forward to this. Come on, you little beast. Let's get you out. We've got lots to do on this one today. It is going to be a lot of fun. There is quite a few bonus parts in this one. Hopefully finishing it off and making it look fantastic. We even have a cleaned up engine bay a bit later on. Massive wide body kit at the back there with loads of stuff going on. A big old spoiler, wing spoiler as well. Some internal bits. As I said, all the engine bay bits. It's going to look pretty awesome. We do have a little bit of extra pipe work still in here floating around. We do need to get the rest of that out in a bit, along with the rest of the engine bay and all of the suspension. But I'll be honest, I think everything's in here. We've got everything we need. We need to drain a few liquids from a few little places like this, and this. We don't have power steering in our very old Volkswagen Caddy, but we do have coolant, wishy-washy, and a brake fluid as well. Get an ECU Type A chilling in there, double fuel tank, one on each side, fuse box up here, radiator down the bottom, and a cheeky little battery just hidden away in the top compartment. Don't know what accent that was, but top compartment up there hiding away. If we just come out, you can see it's sort of hidden in this top compartment up here. It is sort of poking through a little bit, but that'll all be hidden when we tidy up the engine bay later. This is the Caddy. This is my Caddy, and it's going to be our competition entry, and I'm very much looking forward to getting on with it. So let's go pop that engine on the engine stand and see what we need to do, because I imagine this is going to need stripping down and a full real rebuild, including that engine cover on the top there. I don't normally like engine covers, but that carbon fiber really finishes this one off for me. Then we've got obviously our air intake hose at the front there. I'm not going to strip it all down. I just wanted to get down a little bit so we could see what we've got going on underneath. Plenty of work on that one, but that also going to need to be stripped down, repaired, replaced, or upgraded with performance parts, and then ready to go back in our beautiful little Caddy, ready to see what sort of power this will get from the dyno a little bit later on. That's everything repaired, replaced, or upgraded, ready to go back on our beautiful Cadwah. We just need to sort this bodywork out. So let's just start stripping it down, see what we've got. We've got the left door, mirror and window, lovely hood, that beautiful front bumper, car part 4, which is the front end, and then obviously some headlights in there as well. Looking fantastic. Off with that fender, which is also the full side skirt. And there is also a side skirt and fender underneath that as well, just for good measure. Although this side is missing. Is it actually missing? Oh, yeah, it is missing. So there we go. We do need to put that bit back. Round to this side, though. Let's get the door out. Mirror and window there. No rear window in. We are missing that. We do have the seat, though. Is any of this stuff? I can't remember. I don't think so. I don't think so. Off with that bed piece, looking nice. And then we've got a trunk piece on there. And one tail light, because we're missing the other one. And I think the rest of this is just body. Oh, apart from that license plate hiding under there. All the bent and misshapen bodywork. Is there anything else? I think it's just the interior. So let's get you out. I won't be keeping that seat. It was just a placeholder. Or probably that steering wheel, let's be truly honest. But is that everything off of the beautiful little Cadwah? That is everything off. We're at the top there. Everything removed from our little Cadwah. I didn't mean to be on that screen. I want it to be on this screen, but there we go. Frame is now at 2%. And how much should we buy it for? Just under 25,000. I don't think this is going to be too high. I'm going to go 750. 1,000. I was a little bit off, but not too bad. We've been in the shop and seen all the Caddy stuff multiple times, so I'm not going to make you watch all of that again. We're going to put the body back together exactly as it came apart. I'm going to repair the bits I've got and just go and buy the bits I need. But once we get it all back together, it'll be straight on to doing most of the bonus parts for this beautiful Cadwah. Well, the Cadwah is all ready for all its body panels, so let's just get started with the Multy's hood on there, which is the Hood C, looking wild and menacing. Just got to open it up quickly, because we do have car part 1 in here, which is normally an engine cover, but we're just using a little piece of it. Car part 1 is just that piece. There's 2 other engine covers that go on there as well. But anyway, close that hood down. We've got the left fenders, which is Multy's wide body, looking fantastic. And then we do have just the little trim pieces on the back here, giving it the rest of it. That does do both sides, I've realised, so we didn't need one for the other side. Front bumper on there, Multy's wide body, and then car part 4 is obviously Multy's front end, with these beautiful Multy's headlights in there that do look absolutely fantastic. Then the front right side on you go there, Multy's wide body, obviously. The door is C. The reason it's door C is it matches that bit of fabric on the back wall there. Line that one up specifically. So there we go. Put the rear window in while we're here, and then we'll get this left door on. There you go. Windshield, I've gone for the one with the banner across the top there. There is something to go there on the livery, so it will look a bit different. Normal mirrors, and then obviously door and handle on there. That should all paint body colour, which is what I'm hoping for. If not, we'll swap it a bit later on. On with that mirror, which is in green. That headlight was green as well, by the way. Don't know why, but there we go. Looking nice. Round we go. Car part 2, which is our full bed cover. I've gone for a full flat bed cover on there. Looking nice. And for the trunk, I went for the one that doesn't have any Volkswagen lettering on it, just because. Tail lights are these absolutely fantastic looking things on here, looking beautiful. And then we've got a big old rear bumper, which is for Multy's wide body, obviously. And for the time being, just a blank license plate on there. Let's get the interior in and then double check if we've got everything. The steering wheel I've gone for is my classic virtual mechanic steering wheel. I nearly said Volkswagen. Virtual mechanic steering wheel. And then for our seats, I've gone for the Golf Mark 1 ones. Absolutely beautiful. Again, by Multiply. They look fantastic in here because they all match the material. It just looks so good. I'm so pleased with that. I think that's everything for the body. 100%, 100%, 100%. Interior, frame, and body all done. And now we do have a massive collection of bonus parts to go on here, so we can get this one finished off. I can't remember. Oh, I do remember what that is. So we'll start with this one up here, which is a little tiny roof spoiler just coming off the top there, looking fantastic. If we nip down to the back, I've got to try and remember what goes where. I think this one here is the spoiler, the wing, bonus wing 25. Looking great on there. We've got loads to do. I've got to try and remember everything. So then this back part here, I think, is the Porsche rear bumper without center panel stock. So we'll throw that on there. Yeah, that has worked. It does clip through a little bit, but once it's all on, it will look fantastic. I think this inside one is the wheel tub. Yes, it does look like the inside one is the wheel tub, so we get one of them on both sides. We'll come back to that later. Then on the top here should be the actual Porsche rear fenders with the flare and the intakes. It looks so good on there. Very, very nice. Round to this side, let's get you on as well. Make sure we get the right part. There we go. And then just in front of it, as you can see, as it clips out a little bit. Now, I did want something like this on here anyway. I've just gone for a hood scoop sideways mounted. It covers it and looks like a secondary cooling for the rear wheels / brakes. Round there we go. I think once we get that on, that's the rear half done. Looking good. We've got plenty of stuff in here to be playing around with, but we'll come back to that in a minute. Let's open this hood and let's get the engine bay all tidied up. Now, I believe, so the top 3 are flat plates. 1, fingers crossed it comes out right. 2, and, oh, too far. 3 on there, and then on front of it should be a curve. Looking good. So we'll do the same on the other side. Flat plate, flat plate, flat plate, if I can get there, and then a curve just on the outside, finishing it all off. Lots of stuff on the inside. I've got to remember what bits go where. That's air filters. I know that one. So let's crack on. I think this piece here is a console. I don't have a console. It's not a console. Okay. I should have a console. I don't know where my console's gone. All right, so we'll go back here a little bit. I think these are the other 2 curves. One on that side and one on that side. Then this bit here. Oh, console. I do have my console. So I think this is console. That looks about right. What have I got left? Air shift. Oh, that's the air shift bottle. Nice and easy. So then this is the handbrake. No, that was not correct. That was... Oh. Normal mode. Take, disassemble bonus parts. Oh, now I can't reach it because of the door and the lifter and everything. Let's try that again. We'll get there eventually. Oh, no, now I can't pull it out. Oh, no. Oh, no, oh, no. Why can't I pull it out? The rear window. Okay, we'll take out the rear window. Now and I can see it. There we go. I need you because you were not supposed to go there. Something else was supposed to go there. So I think that could be the switch panel. Yeah, that's the bit the gear shifter's meant to go into. Then we should have speed shifter placement should be where the handbrake goes. We'll get there eventually. So it's just so close together, which comes through that little clip. We are going to have to paint some of this later. And then that's the speed shifter on there with the air bottle just behind it. There we go. I think we got it all. Obviously, apart from the 2 air filters, which we can't put in until later. We are going to have to colour some of this separately, so I might have to come and take all of this back out a little bit later on. But that is all of the bonus parts. We'll just double check it, make sure there's just 2 left, which are the 2 air filter bits, which need to go on at the end. There is the beautiful Cadwah. Obviously minus its engine and running gear at the moment, but it is looking absolutely fantastic. I think now we go and get this beast painted, decide what we're going to do with the colours for this one today. Fingers crossed, it's going to look fantastic. We're in the paint shop. I'll just go over to here. I've taken out all of the stuff in here that I want to paint separately. The tunnel hopefully will go green or body coloured, and we'll get the rest of it done a little bit later on. But there we go. Let's get this painted and let's see what she's going to look like. I realise I just gave the colour away. We will be going for a metallic green today, so let's get that sorted first. Somewhere around there, I think. Oh, I've gone too far. I want to go into metallic. I want to bring that most of the way up. I do want to bring the brightness down at just a tad. Maybe that down a tad as well. That's not too shabby. A lovely metallic green on this beautiful Cadwah. I do think that looks fantastic. What colour should we do the bolts? Maybe we'll do the bolts the same green, actually. Can we do 125 9085? If I go screw painting... all screws including rims. I've already forgot the colour. 125 and 9085. 125, 90 and 85 on there. I think that'll do, but we do have a livery, so let's just tick it over into Cadwah. There she is, a couple of Virtual Mechanic logos. Cadwah Supercharged up there, and also down the side, like the Rabbit logo used to be with the GTI. Obviously, put my badge on it as well, and we got it mirrored on the other side with the badge still just on the door. That's the livery we've gone for. I think it looks pretty good. We've got some extra white parts in there. I hope they're not visible inside the engine bay, but I do think that's looking pretty good. The livery isn't anything special on this one. It's just our supercharged Cadwah. Let's get it painted. On we go. Let's come out of this mode. Do we have anything I can quickly throw in and check the bolt colours? I don't think we do, actually, with this one. I don't have an ABS pump, which I should have with my brake servo, I guess. But no, I actually have nothing right now to quickly screw in and check the bolt colour. So we'll come back to that a little later on, and hopefully I have got it right. But there's the tidied up engine bay, looking so much nicer with these strips running down the side. And obviously the washer reservoir and the coolant is just underneath it with just the cap poking out. It's going to look pretty good. We do have some internal bits to paint. I do also want to change that steering wheel just a little bit. The rest of the interior is going to stay as it is seats wise. It all looks pretty good there. We just got a few bits to add, so I'm going to crack on with that very quickly. I'll bring you back in once we finish painting that, so you can have a look before we get this one on the lifter and get it all back together, ready to finish this beautiful Cadwah. And don't forget, I do need a score from you guys out of 10 so we can get this one added to our wonderful show car board. Just quickly then, before we put the Cadwah back on the lifter, this is the colour scheme. I'm going to go to photo mode just so it's a little bit clearer. This is the colour scheme we've gone for. It's a black, a sort of dullish sort of gold on there, and obviously the bodywork green. This is actually carbon fibre. It's just such a fine weave that you can't see it on there, if we're being truly honest. But there we go. I think this all looks beautiful in here. We've got the green, obviously, on the tank. Fully greened out on the centre console. I would have liked a little bit of gold trim around the edges, and for it obviously to not clip with these seats, which I didn't notice when I was building it. That's probably because I was building it with different seats, because you shouldn't put these in the car editor. It crashes something. But there we go. Gold all obviously along the roll cage there, a little bit on the steering wheel as well, and that's the colour scheme, and it is looking beautiful. I'm very, very impressed with it. There we go. Let's get this beast back on the lifter, get it all back together, get this beautiful Cadwah all finished off, ready for you guys to give me a score out of 10. And if you want access to this config and livery yourself, become a member of the VM Garage Club, where you get early access to all my videos, shout out on YouTube for being a member, access to my Discord where we all chat, have a laugh and things like that, and it's where I share all of these custom configs and liveries for you to enjoy yourself, put them in your own game, and that is £2.99 a month. We do also have the video fan member level, which doesn't get access to the custom configs and liveries. It gives you 1 day early access to all of our videos, but you don't get access to the Discord or the configs and liveries. You still get emojis on YouTube, a little shout out and some stickers and things like that. But if you want access to the beautiful config and livery for this wonderful Cadwah, you do need to sign up at the level of VM Garage Club member. There we go. Let's get this beast back on the lifter. Let's get it all finished. Well, there we are. We are pretty much finished with the beautiful Cadwah, or the Volkswagen Cadwah, as we should definitely call it. I absolutely love this thing, and it's insane. It's supercharged engine and wide body kit. Speaking of that engine, let's have a look at it. There she is. She's got the carbon fibre cover on the top with the SVR, and obviously the supercharged bit in that body matched green metallic. Looking fantastic. What I might do is I might just quickly nip that cover off so we can have a slightly better look at the engine. Mostly in black and gold, a few little splashes of green with the bolts in there. Some people might not like the green bolts. Maybe we should have gone for black bolts on it, or even gold bolts on it. Probably would have been pretty cool. But I think it looks nice with the green. It sort of shows that it was built for this car to go in here. And I think it looks absolutely fantastic. We'll have a look around. Lots of little gold accents going on it. Plenty of that green, but mostly in a steel black with a few tweaks of carbon fibre. The head covers there, they're both carbon fibre on either side. So is the brake servo, so are the shocks, so is the fuse box, and the battery tray is carbon fibre. The top, we went for a bit of green on there, just showing up that Volkswagen logo. For the radiator, you can't paint this Summit radiator for some reason. It just goes full black and you lose all of this grating in the logo. So I left it as it was, but we did do a bit of carbon fibre on the shroud there, and obviously that dull-ish gold we've got going on there on the fans, and obviously gold on all of the exhaust all the way through, looking absolutely beautiful. And then obviously the tips in green and black on there for our lovely little air filters just coming up from the front. We just quickly close the hood and just stand here. I think it looks quite menacing. They're off center, they're not quite perfectly matched. That is not necessarily by design, but that's how I made it look. So there we go. Mostly because if we go in here, this little pipe here is not symmetrical either side, which makes sense because it's not symmetrical in the middle. So they do come out slightly different places, but we did a good job of wrapping it all around, I think, in there. It looks quite nice. If we go into the full exhaust, we got a crossover pipe in here, so you will need the Land Rover DLC for this one. In fact, I think you need it anyway for this engine. So there we go. I think that is the Land Rover engine. Yeah, no, it is the Land Rover engine. Of course it is. So we got a little crossover in there, and then straight pipes just with a little dinky out finishy point at the end there. Black and gold on the rear suspension, black and gold on the front. If I could get down there, I will show you the only couple of issues we had with this. That is, the steering rack does sort of go for a bit through the exhaust and the gearbox there, and the sway bar does go through the engine block. But that's the only two real issues I've found with this. Oh, and also our little side pods are attached to the hood. So when the hood goes up, they disappear, which is a bit of a shame. And also on the trunk, when you open the trunk, that spoiler goes with the trunk, but so does the roof spoiler sitting just up there, which does look a little bit amusing. But there we go. Also in the trunk, we got our two big old tubs in there in the beautiful green. That is actually hiding suspension. If I go into here, this does pop through up through the body, as you can see, which is why we put the widened tubs on it. But there we go. She's pretty much finished. All looking beautiful. Let's put that engine cover back on, and let's talk about these absolutely fantastic wheels we have gone for today. I've used them before. They are the DBX rims from the Aston Martin DLC. So if you want to use these rims, you will need that one there. For the fronts, they are an 18-inch rim, 295 width, and a 30 profile. Width is this way. Profile is tire end of the rim to the edge of the tire. So there we go. Get them on, looking beautiful in black and gold. Obviously, we've got the green bolts matching the outside, and I'll be honest, that's the only bit I maybe should have changed, but I'm liking it anyway, so we'll leave it as it is. For the rears, they're exactly the same size, 18-inch rim, 295 width, and a 30 profile, but these do have 30 ET on them to bring them out into these absolutely wild fender flares I've put on this Caddy for just because I like a wide body, basically. So let's get around and get all of these on, and then we'll be pretty much finished with our beautiful Cadwah, the supercharged Volkswagen Caddy, looking absolutely fantastic. On we go with the final rim on there. Lovely Toyo race tyres. We're not drag racing it today. This is our show car build. I need you to give me a score so we can get it onto the show car board. I forgot where it was. There it is, just up here. Oh my God. Ropey, flyy camera, but it is what it is. Currently at the top is the Huna van, which was outside. Nothing is currently out there. Look how angled this is, because it threw me off from the centre at the beginning. Sometimes that happens, and you just need to reload the game, and it'll be absolutely fine. But there we go. We've got quite a few things on there. Where will the Cadwah finish on our top 10 show car board? Our wonky top 10 show car board at the moment, which is making me giggle just a little bit. So yeah, so I need you guys to give me a score out of 10. 10 being the most amazing car you've ever seen, and the 0 being absolute dog mess, but obviously 1 being predominantly the lowest number. Please nobody go give it a 0. Thank you. I'd appreciate that. But yeah, whatever your score is out of 10, please let me know in the comments below. And once you finish doing that, head over to vm-shop.fourthwall.com and grab yourself some virtual mechanic merch, some car mechanic simulator merch, and we also have car dealer simulator hats up there. And don't forget my new retro car outline t-shirt, Gen 1. Grab yourselves one of them as well. Free delivery on all orders, $75 or more. But whatever your local currency is, that will display on the website when you are there. Once you select whatever your currency is, it will tell you how much you need to spend in your currency to get that free delivery option. Sorry, it's an American company. I'm English myself, and I think it's about £52.80, something like that. Is it what it is for free delivery? It does fluctuate, obviously, with price rates and things like that going up and down. But there we go. vm-shop.fourthwall.com. Grab yourself some lovely merch. Let's get the Cadwah outside in the sun onto the dyno and get this video finished with a beautiful score out of 10. Well, there she is. We've got two caddies on the scene. We've got the beautiful custom caddy with its matching golf partner. And obviously now we've got the wide-body supercharged Cadwah, which I love. I do absolutely love. It doesn't even look that much like a caddy. It almost looks a little bit JDM, if I'm being truly honest. Just not with a supercharged V8 under the hood. Maybe we should have put a 2JG in it or something like that. But there we go, all finished. She is looking absolutely beautiful. I do think it looks stunning. Please, please, please let me know what you think in the comments below, especially with a score out of 10. I would love to get this one at the top of the speederboard and get all the other cars back out here again once we finish part 2 of my top 5 mods for drag racing in Car Mechanic Simulator. That will be coming very soon. Don't worry, the winner of the first one was the Unicorn version 4, and if you haven't already seen it, go and check it out. It is quite a good video. But there we go, the supercharged Cadwah. Let's just quickly jump inside it, see what she sounds like. Oh, it's a bit, when you put the roll cage rear window in, it can be a bit of a challenge to get to the seats. You just need to come down a little bit. There you go. As you can see, just past the lip of the actual seat, you can click on it anywhere round there, sort of thing, up to about here, and you'll be able to sit down on the inside. Just this roll cage one is just a bit of a nightmare, but look how beautiful it looks in here with our custom center console clipping through the seats. Ignore that one just a little bit. I wasn't sure if I was going to use these seats or something different, but I opted for these in the end with the rest of the interior looking fantastic. I love all the gear shifter. There is a manual gear shifter under there as well, so we had to bring it all up to cover all of that up, to hide sort of all of them bits. But there we go. I think it is looking fantastic. Let's get it started. Oh, I need to align the wheels. We need to do that at some point. I'll do that in a moment. There is that supercharged V8 grumbling. That has a lot of over rev on that engine. Maybe I forgot to change what the bass was on this Caddy when we first started it, but it's sounding pretty good. Very grumbly, and that wide at the top end, even if it is a bit over the top, is absolutely beautiful. Let's get this beast onto the dyno, see what the horsepower is, what its drag rating will be, and how much we've added to this one today. The wheels are aligned, the headlights are adjusted. Now it's onto the dyno with our AJ133 V8 Land Rover engine, supercharged with 618 factory horsepower. How much have we added today with this beautiful Cadwah? If it ever gets there, there we go. 690 horsepower added, 112%. Beautiful, just as we like to see it. 1,308 horsepower from this rear-wheel drive Volkswagen Caddy named Cadwah. Drag rating of A. 999, but I think we all pretty much expected that. If I put slicks on it, that number would have been higher because slicks do increase it just a tad. But if we head over to our PC, we can see we do have, obviously, a gearbox. I didn't do anything to that. That is how it comes, weirdly enough, for this one. But there we go. The Stage 3 ECU is fully tuned and ready to go, giving us an additional 16%. And if you don't know that I have a video showing you how to easily do this every time, have you been living under a rock? There's a link in the top right hand corner on the screen on some devices, but if not, if you just open up the description, scroll down towards the end, it is in there along with the link to do the carburetors. Obviously we don't have them in this one, but if you need to know how to tune either of them easily every time without fail, there is 2 short videos in there, less than 60 seconds long, just to catch you up on how to perfectly do it. But there we go, we are all finished with the beautiful Cadwah. We just need to get it back outside in the sun, do ourselves a lovely little outro, and then say goodbye. And I do obviously need that score out of 10 in the comments below. So there we go, the wide body supercharged Cadwah, our Volkswagen Caddy with a Land Rover Jaguar supercharged V8 under the hood. Also, this incredibly custom wide body kit, front end mostly designed by Multy to be whatever he wanted it to be, and it looks fantastic. Rear end taken from the Porsche 964 body kit stuff, rear flares, and that rear bumper on there as well, with a wing from Jackal's bonus wings kit available on Steam Workshop. All of the stuff there is available on Steam Workshop, apart from the Caddy itself. That's available over on Multy's Patreon, link in the description below. Go and grab that one for yourself, and then if you want to have access to this config, sign up to the VM Garage Club for $2.99 a month. I've already explained it enough times in this video. There's a little bit on screen, along with a little bit as well about the VM Video Fan Club, where you just get early access to the video, stickers and emojis on YouTube and things like that. The VM Garage Club gets all of that, plus the Discord where we can chat, have a laugh, and I share all my configs and liveries, such as the beautiful Cadwah, looking fantastic. There's a collection of other ones on there as well. That is £2.99 a month for the VM Garage Club. You members are absolute legends, and 99p a month for the Video Fan Club. And you, sir, are a legend as well. I say sir, that might not be true. Sir or madam, whoever you are a legend. Thank you very much. But there we go. That's it for today's video. Don't forget to give me a score out of 10 in the comments below. Head over to vm-shop.fourthwall.com. Grab yourself some merch. Free delivery on all orders over $75. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a beautiful day, whatever it is you're getting up to. And go and vote for my Cadwah over on Red Dot Games official Discord server. Make mine the winner. I very much appreciate it. Thank you all so much. Have a beautiful day, whatever it is you get up to. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Like and subscribe for Virtual Mechanic.